Alright guys, so this just arrived at my front step. And I actually wanted to open it, so I was anxious, and plus my wife had actually ordered some stuff. So technically speaking, this is only mine and this is hers. So we're going to put that to the side. And what we have here is bonsai tools. So from what I can see, the package is actually really nice right over here. It's black. Seems like a really durable material. Comes with a zipper. And I'm guessing something to hold it from. So let's unzip this baby. Let's see. Here we have it. Really nice. So this comes bubble wrapped. Nice. The packaging is actually pretty sweet. Oh, look at that, guys. It's just like Christmas. Perfect. So we're gonna go over each one of these individually. I'm gonna actually tell you what each one of these are, and we're going to put them to a test. I do have with me a little peach tree that I want to work with, so we're going to be using some of these tools. Some of these tools I actually can't use it on my actual bonsai, so what I did is that I cut off some branches from a tree, and we're going to use those tools with those branches. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just showing you how it came in the package, and what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be pulling each one of these individually, and I'm going to be using it. I'll be giving you the name and also the function of each tool. So far I'm actually amazed by the fact of how it was packaged and delivered, so for that, I give it a thumbs up. So now we can also proceed on the way that these tools work. Right, so what we're going to do right now is that we're going to do the selection of the branches. We're going to decide which ones we cut off and which ones we get to keep. For that, I had also sketched a little bit of the tree here and trying to see if I can create a map of where I'm going to be cutting in the future as well as right now. I know that the tree can actually change within the time. However, I feel like if I start planning right now, I can actually come up with the product that I want. So we're going to start off with introducing some of the tools as we prune, and then we're going to go off from there. Okay, so we're going to begin by actually getting one of my septipens right here, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to remove this portion of the pot right here. You have to be careful with this and not cutting yourself. These things right here are really sharp. If you don't have a septipen, you can always use your scissors. Right now, the only reason why I'm not digging the tree out of the pot, it's because I'm not too entirely sure how the root system is looking inside, and I could care less about this pot, so just going to remove that. Okay, so now that we have removed this portion of the pot, what we can do is that we can proceed and check in our sketch right here. Like I said, it's always helpful to have a sketch, that way we know exactly how we're going to be cutting and planning for the future. So from what I have planned over here, I feel like at this point I can actually get rid of these two branches right here. Just like that. Just because this one right here has a certain curvature that I really just don't feel for it. It's not as strong as I would say that I want to keep. And also, I think that I can either remove this one and keep this one at the bottom just to help thickening the trunk. So we're going to go and proceed with that. So this right here is our straight edge branch cutter. And how it helps is that it does have that straight edge right over here. Really sharp. And from what I can see, these were actually oiled right before shipping, I guess. So they're pretty good. They feel nice on the hand, and they seem really sharp. So see how this goes. So what we're going to do, like I said, is that we're going to proceed and cutting off this branch right here. Oh, right. Just like that. Another reason why these are really helpful is because they are set up in an angle where it's actually can be easy for you to get right onto the place where you want to get in, and you don't have to struggle as much. So far I feel like they're really good, so I'm going to put that to the side, and we're going to continue on cutting this one right over here. Just like that. Snap it right off. And if we want to, we can actually use these as cuttings and see if we can propagate this tree as well. Alright, so we have gotten rid of these two branches. So far this is actually doing a really good job at it. And what we're going to do next is that, since we have it right over here, we're going to use this tool right over here. Now these right here are some long shears, long handle shears, and as you can see, there are to cut off, thinner branches. Actually, they feel really good on the hand too. I'm not complaining about that right now. Also oiled, really well sharpened, and yeah, they feel really good. Super light. So another thing that we could do, if we wanted to take this out of the pot and trim down the roots, we could use these root cutters right here. Actually, pretty surprised at the fact that this one came in a separate package. Also seemed like they were oiled before. Pretty sharp and light, easy to maneuver. So these right here are to cut off the roots, as you can see. So we have a nice root cutter, we have a nice thin long branch cutter, and we also have this straight edge branch cutter. So right here we have this knob cutter. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off, the branch cutter, and then with the knob cutter, just like that, I'm going to get right in it, nice and clean. What it does is that it does leave this little indentation right here, and eventually what the tree would do is that it would heal and also try to mask this part right here where the cut has been done. So that's actually a good thing, because it would be almost as if nothing was right at this place right here, like if there was no branches there before. So that's a really good thing right there. So far I'm happy with these tools. Most people on the website have actually said that these are more like beginner's tools. However, I feel like almost anybody can just use these ones. It looks like right here we also have a 3mm wire cutters. And what's good about these cutters versus something like this, which you have also seen in the past video, is that these right here do not have a pointy edge. So when you're getting to that wire, it does not affect the tree in any other way. This toolkit also comes with this Lyre Splinter. This tool right here is actually used to create kind of like a deadwood feature on a tree. So unlike this branch right here, what I would normally do on an actual bonsai is that I would use my branch cutter and then just go around the branch, setting a nice line so that when I use the gem plier, it would get almost everywhere except the line where I had marked it. So just a quick demonstration right here. You would continue doing so all the way to the top, and eventually with this just press really hard on it, breaking the branch, and create sort of a broken branch style, something that would happen in the actual natural habitat of the tree. This right here is actually a bonsai rake, and normally what you would use this for is just to get into the pot right there, just trying to figure out where your actual root system begins. I feel like at this moment you can actually see right here that the trunk goes all the way deep down over here, which is about an inch in deep, and that's actually a good thing. This toolkit also comes up with this little clamps right here, and what the clamps are for is so that you can actually be able to bend some of those thicker branches, and then you would twist in the center so that you can actually pull on those branches and get the bent shape that you want. So it would be something like this, and then this one right here would pull it forward, bending these branches towards the sides. Like I said, this tree right here is actually too young, so we're not going to be using that. However, we're going to move on on continue styling this tree. See how they cut through? Nice. Straight through it. Alright. So this wire is going to go just deep that just to anchor it, and we're going to proceed in bringing it up towards the tree. Right. I can just leave that about right there. And like I said, the cool thing about these wire cutters is the fact that they're not too pointy, so it will not get in the way of the branches, and it will not actually damage those with the pointy tip. I'm gonna be as neat as possible, and I'm gonna try to just make it go down just in the same location that this one went down on. And this one is actually going to twist this way. That one's done. Get in right here with these wire cutters. Ooh. Perfect. Now, in the design that I did right over here, I do have these two branches, and what I'm eventually going to do is that I'm going to cut off, once I have some new growth going on right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this branch right here, and I'm going to have two of these splitting off to the sides. So in order to trigger this new growth, what I need to do is that I need to cut back just about right here. I went ahead and left the wire here because I want to show you that this wire cutters right here are necessary, because it's easier for you to get into the tree without actually damaging any of the branches. We're going to cut off the wire just about right here. Like that. So you saw exactly how I cut off the wire. Now it's dangling from that point. And we're going to proceed in just using our branch cutters. I'm going to go ahead and cut off right here. Now the reason why I cut off right there is because, like I said, I do expect to have some branches growing at this point right here. So what I will be doing is that I'm going to be bending this branch just a little bit like this. Just like that. And where we're left off with the side, and now we're going to move on to the next side. Alright, so the camera cut off, alright, so there was a branch right over here, so essentially what I did was I used this long shears and I cut off just about right here. So the reason why it is important for you to have at least one of these, or maybe one of these, is because they're really sharp, and then the cut is actually a lot smoother, and it does allow for the branch to heal properly. So we want to follow the path of the first wire, of course. That way our wiring does look as neat as possible. And we want to follow the same process over and over, just avoiding those buds, because like I said, they're potential branches and leaves. Alright, now that I have gotten there, I would then remove the excess wire, and I'm going to try to get as close as I can to the branch, just to show you how neat it is to have one of these without actually disturbing the branch. Alright, going to proceed in doing the same thing to the top. So now that we had wired those branches, we can actually continue on looking at our map of where we want to and where we want to make certain bends. So from what I can see right over here is that this branch would actually be coming in this way, and I'm going to be doing this to the branch, just like that. So bringing this one's back, and I'm going to have this one kind of like as my new leader going up in this mode. Now I do have some really nice branching right here, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to cut back because I want a sort of a smaller space growing in between right here. So we're gonna go ahead and proceed in actually cutting those branches right off. And I don't want to damage any of my branch cutters, so what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to remove some of this wire right here. So since I do want some new growth happening at this point, and I'm going to be cutting anywhere between here, I do want to keep in mind that I might have some die back over here, just like I do have right over here. So I'm not going to cut all the way back, so I want to cut about right over here. And I'm going to remove that wire piece first, so I don't want to damage my branch cutter. And just symmetrically to it, I'll be cutting back just about right here. And now that I had actually removed that piece of the wire there, I can go ahead and get in with my branch cutters right about there. Doing so again will stimulate some more growth right over here. Now we can proceed in actually bending down those branches just a little bit more, and as we do so we want to add just a little bit of curvature because we don't want it to actually look just straight. We want to make it look like it's growing at its own. Same thing over here. We don't want those branches to look like somebody had made them in that position. We want to just get in and just like that. Now I feel like from the model that I had drawn right here on the piece of paper that I can actually bring back this branch just a little bit more. And leave it as it is. This one can actually come back just a little bit. And from here on, we can cut off just about right here. But since we have no growth here, what I'll be doing instead is that I'm just going to cut out right over here. And hopefully then we have some new branches growing right at the bottom. Alright, so here we're left off with this product right over here. Like I said, we do expect some branches to grow from right over here, and then this branch right here, what its purpose is that it's just going to serve as a sacrifice branch. And what we're going to do is that we're just going to continue monitoring all the branches that are growing and eventually just cutting back to where we want that new growth to be, so that we can have a really nice ramification. We want to go from here from 2 to 4 to 8 and 16 branches, just coming down in this direction like this. Alright. So overall, what I think about this product is that it's actually really good. Considering the fact that it's only $58 for a kit that has 11 pieces, I think it's actually amazing. Considering the fact that something like this one, and I'm not sure if you've seen it on the past, this right here is some stainless steel Japanese Joshi branch cutters. These ones right here can actually run you for about 55 bucks, or this one's right here, like, so something like this can actually run you for about $70, $60 a piece, depending on where you purchase it from. So what this kit right here represents is pretty much the price for one of these. I feel like overall the branch cutters are serving the same exact purpose. What I do recommend though is just pretty much as anything else is for you to give it some really good maintenance. So after you're done using them, just simply clean them, oil them, and then just keep them away from water so that they don't develop any rust. So that right there will conclude this episode. Yes, this is actually really good tools for beginners and also for some people who've been doing this for quite a while. If you don't want to spend a whole lot of money in tools because you're not too sure about this hobby yet and you're fairly new in it, I do suggest you to get this toolkit. However, if you don't have much money and you want to get something a little bit better, what I do suggest you to at least get 3 simple items. You do want a branch cutter, and you do want a straight branch cutter just like this one. You want some sharp shears and also some wire cutters like this one. You want the ones that have a round tip, not the ones that have a really sharp tip, because like I said, that would actually damage your branches as you're cutting the wire. So those 3 simple tools are the ones that I would recommend. In addition to those 3 basic tools that I had just recommended, maybe a knob cutter would actually be a really good ideal tool to have in your bag, and this is because you do want to minimize the bump appearance on the trunk of your trees. This one, if you're working with younger trees, I feel like it's not quite necessary. However, if you're working with a larger specimen, definitely get yourself one of these. This one's actually pretty small, and you can always get yourself ones that's a little bit bigger than this. But yeah, alright, so this will conclude this episode. If you did like it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or thoughts about these tools, go ahead and comment down below. I will try to answer your questions as best as I can. If you like the tools, go ahead and check the description box. I have left there a link that would take you directly to the webpage where you can actually purchase this tool set. Thank you once again for watching. Till next time.